Hey guys, I'm super excited to talk to you today about one of my very favorite things about doTerra. I know that I say that every time I talk about doTerra because pretty much all of it's my favorite, but I'm really excited about this because if you like free stuff like I do, you will be excited about this. So I am assuming that you have already enrolled with doTerra and you love your oil, and so now you want to learn how to get the best value. So we're going to talk about the biggest bang for your buck and how to get lots and lots of free product. They have a product called a program, called the Loyalty Rewards Program. And this is really awesome. The way that this works is, well, after you enroll, you know that you can enroll for $35 and you can put together your own kit, or you can come in with a kit and waive the $35. So those are all options in terms of enrollment. Once you're enrolled and you love your oil and you're using your oil, then you probably want to do the Loyalty Rewards Program and get some free stuff. So here's what this looks like. I'm going to use 100 PV just for easy math for me. So we're going to pretend like every month you spend 100 PV. Alright, so you spend 100. In the first 3 months that you are with doTerra, you're going to get 10% of that 100 back. Okay? So the next 3 months, you're going to get 15. Next 3 months, you're going to get 20. Next 3 is 25. And then forevermore, you're going to get 30% back. That is really super exciting because the other great thing that doTerra does is give you back your shipping. So you can ship two ways. You can either do ground for $9 or you can do second day for $12. I always do second day because I don't want to wait for my oil. I'm always anxious for it to get here. So let's say I'm over here, which I am. I've been in long enough now that I get 30%. So now I spent 100, I got 30 back, and I also get 12 back for my shipping. So now I just got 42 points, PV, or I call them doTerra dollars, back to buy more product. So that is huge. When you spend 100 and you get back 42, that's a major big deal. And if that sits in your office for 2 or 3 months and gathers up, and if you do, a 200 PV special month, like this month is deep blue, so if you spend 200, you get a large tube of deep blue. I guess you guys can tell it's March. You get a large deep blue and you get the smaller deep blue. So you get both of these. It's an $82 value for free when you spend 200. So on those months, then I get 60 plus 12. So now if I spend 200 this month, which I did, now I got 72 points back. And that's just like $72 to spend on more oil. So it's super exciting. Now, depending on how you come in with your kit, you may start at, if you come in with a diamond kit, you're going to start at 25%. If you come in with the natural solutions, you're going to start at 15. So that can change a little bit, and you'll talk to the person that enrolled you and they'll explain that further. But this is pretty much how the points come back to you. So I'm going to show you the fine details because I like everybody to know exactly how this works. So let's take this off here. Now, here's what happens. I'm going to give you all the little details, and there's not much to know. If you spend less than 10 PV, you lose your points, basically, is how that works. Now, there's some discrepancy. Some literature says 1 PV. I've seen some that says 5. I always just say 10 because I've seen some that say 10, and I don't want you to go spend, 4.75, buy a lip balm, and then you lose your points. So I just say 10 across the board. If something happens and you can't spend 100 or you can't spend your 50 or whatever, you can always go in and just buy a lemon. Just get a lemon and don't lose your points. I did actually hear of someone who had about 800 points in their back office, and that is $800. And they lost it because they didn't spend their money. So it is a regular monthly program. You're going to shop every month. You can edit your cart, and they're going to send you whatever you want. You're not locked into a specific order. They're going to send you whatever you want. You just go in and edit that. You can edit 10 times during the month. That's what most of us do. I go in maybe on the first couple days of the month and put some things in, and then I might change my mind and add some other things. And usually I just keep adding, and then when it's time for my order to go out, I take out what I've changed my mind on. So you always want to keep 100 PV in your cart if you are trying to earn money with doTerra, because you will not get a check if you don't have 100 in there. So you always put something in there to hold that 100 PV. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. But you're not locked into an order, so that's the important thing. I know with some other some other products, some other companies, you get the same thing month after month after month. I was at a class last night where a woman told me that she had been on a different program and she got the same thing every month, but she really only needed one about every 6 or 7 weeks, so the product was piling up and she was spending too much money. So that's the great thing about doTerra. You buy what you want. You're not locked into anything. So if you spend less than 10, you lose your points, okay? If you spend 10 to 49, you keep your points, but you don't earn, okay? So you don't earn any new points. Okay, and you also do not move forward on that scale of percentages. It's just kind of a neutral position. You're just kind of sitting there. Okay, so if you spend 50 and above, you earn points. And you move forward on that scale of percentages. At 100 is where you will get a check if you are sharing oil with people and you're enrolling. At 125, this is really awesome. This is when you get another free oil. If you spend 125 by the 15th of the month, there's always a free oil. We don't know what it's going to be until the first day of the month. They just pop up on the front of our website. There it is, and we know what we're going to get. So it's really good. If you're going to spend 125 anyway, may as well do it by the 15th and get another free oil, because, you know, over the year, that's 12 free bottles of oil, and that's pretty substantial. That adds up. At 200 every quarter is another special, and that's usually not locked in stone, but usually in March, that's going to be deep blue, what I just talked about. In June, I don't know, because the last 2 years, I think it was different. And then in September is usually Immortelle, which is so awesome. I can't even... Immortelle is awesome. If you don't know about Immortelle, find somebody and talk to them about it. It's amazing. We may just do a video just on Immortelle one day. And then in December is usually frankincense. So you spend your 200, and that's for the whole month. So here's a couple things you need to know about that. The 125 is by the 15th. That has to happen by the 15th. You have the whole month for the 200, but it has to be a 200 PV order. It can't be 100 order and 100 order. It has to be one order of 200. And you can do this one time, the 125 for the one free oil. If you order 10 times between the 1st and the 15th, you're going to get one free oil for the month, okay? If you spend 200 4 times, you can get that deep blue special 4 times. Now, if you spend 800 PV, you're still going to get one special. So it has to be broken up into 4 separate orders, 200, 200, 200, 200. And then you will get those 4 specials. And doTerra came out last year and just said, you know what, we're correcting a lot of mistakes on that. We're not correcting them anymore. You just need to get your orders in there right. So always look at PV. That's the very important thing, because, for example, I had a guy who had spent like $203, but he spent 199.5 PV. Now, luckily, doTerra did correct that for him, but we just can't make those mistakes. So be sure that you're always looking at your PV. It's in the green column. When you're on your back office and you're ordering, your PV's in the green, and then your total is, I don't know, I think it's in black. But look at your PV. That's what you're always counting, okay? So that's basically everything that you need to know about the Loyalty Rewards program if you love free stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, this is March. So in November, I cashed in 440 points. And a good thing to do is to save those points until you can get a big oil. Okay, so you don't want to spend 10 points here, 10 points there. Save it up for your bigger oils that you can't afford. So you might want like a bottle of Melissa, or you might want frankincense, or Immortelle, or Helichrysum. So save your points for those bigger oils that you can't really afford to buy with your actual cash. And another thing that you want to know is that per every 100 points that you cash in, they're going to charge you $3 processing fee. And that's okay. Sometimes people complain about, but I'm like, hey, they're giving me $100 in free oil. I don't care if they charge me $3. I'm getting, you know, $100 in oil, so I'm pretty excited about that. I will happily give them $3 in exchange for $100 in oil. So cash them in, you know, every 3 or 4 months as your points build up. Don't just spend them, you know, sporadically a little bit here and there. So I want you guys to know that in November, I spent 440 points, and just worked out like that. I should have spent 5, but I didn't. It just, you know, that was what I needed. So I spent 440 in November. This is March, so I want you guys to see what I got free. Just this, in the last 30 days, this is what I've gotten free. It comes to, how much does that say on that thing over there? 500 and, see that last post-it note on the computer at the end? It's $530. Okay, this is $539.61 in retail product, and I got this free yesterday. So, you guys look at this. Oh no, there's 2 things missing here. Sorry, forgot about this. I got also 2 boxes of control mix. So Bryce is going to just zoom in here so you guys can kind of see all my free stuff. Can you see it? Okay. So there's actually 2 boxes of these, and these actually sell for $60. So I got 2 of those free also. So that's a lot of stuff. I mean, 500 and whatever he said, $549 or whatever, or 400, I don't know, $500 and some worth of free stuff. That's what I'm talking about. So I used to be one of those crazy couponers like you see on TV, and so I am all about free stuff and good deals, and I think this is awesome. So when people say, oh, I can't afford oil, first of all, you can't afford oil. You would have to be incredibly poor not to be able to afford oil, because it costs pennies per drop. So if you've not looked at the pennies per drop sheet, find somebody that's got it, go online and Google that and look at that, because when you compare the cost of oil versus the cost of anything over the shelf at Walmart, you're going to come out with a better deal on your oil to start with. So then when they give you all of these things back free, and you can get all of this stuff for free, I spent in December on the frankincense special. I did it in December, and then they extended it through the 15th of January. So I had 2 months to do that. And so I spent $600. And so I got 3 bottles of frankincense. Plus, I got the free oil in December. Plus, I got the free oil for January because I did it by the 15th. And then I got all of my points. So it came out to almost $600 in free stuff when I spent $600. So now you have really brought the cost down. You're literally talking about using the best oil in the world for the cost of using some, oil over the drugstore shelf that isn't probably even oil. So this is LRP. It's very exciting. If you don't understand how it works, just watch this video again and again, or get with somebody that can sit down and explain it to you. But LRP is awesome. Talk to you guys tomorrow.